Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Safe Brew. It's your boy, the President Sean Williams, and ladies and gentlemen, look, this comes without saying. My biggest guest to this date. Okay, listen, I gotta get the intro ready. Listen, I gotta get the intro. Okay, this individual, her sound, it's inspired by Afrofusion, Afro and R&B. Montreal-born, like she's been killing it. She's been on stage with top tier Nigerian artists, WizKid, Burna Boy. She's also collaborated with King Promise, Runtown, Zlatan, Wavy the Creator, and her idol as well, Sean Kingston. Hey yo, Sean, yo, Mr. Kingston. Look, this person, she has won a Juno. She just dropped her sophomore album, Love, which, by the way, we're gonna talk into it more because I love that album for sure. And listen, she's a triple threat. Yo, she's a singer, she's a dancer, and she's an actress. I saw that little documentary you did as well. First one out, I believe. So listen, she lives by the mantra, I am enough. I am TOME. We got TOME in the building. How are you?
What's up? I'm good. How are you? I love that intro. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I'm doing okay. It's pretty hot in my place, but we're gonna rock with it. We're gonna rock with it for sure. I just want to get into the questioning because I know you're on schedule and everything. So I just want to make sure that you're good, that everything is working fine. So
Yes.
within that, just want to get to the first question. So again, you recently dropped your album Love, and it's created so much buzz across the world, especially in Toronto. So what
Yeah.
was the direction that you took when you were starting this album? Like, what did it felt for you at the moment?
Um, Funny enough, all the songs were kind of recorded individually without necessarily any thought to put them on the same project. Um, and about five of them were recorded in Atlanta, and the other five were recorded in Nigeria. So we knew for sure we're really honing in on this Afrofusion sound, but we really want to tap into the culture and give them something that they can really enjoy as well, that isn't getting lost in translation. And, I wanted to make sure that I was also able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Penetrate to the culture itself, when it comes to Afro beats. And so we were really able to create something that I felt was genuine and authentic to who I am as a person, being born in Canada and raised here my entire life, but still extremely well versed in my culture, and to be able to really fuse the two in a way that Africa and Canada can relate to. So we wanted to just make sure that it was better than what I've put out before. We wanted to always make sure that we've improved I improved in my sound and I improved in what we were making. So generally speaking, the direction was improvement. Let's just make hits. Let's make something that we know is stronger than anything I've put out thus far. And then how it felt, I mean, it was definitely challenging sometimes. I had a great team of people to work with, from writers to A&Rs to producers. So I did feel not pressure, more so than how do I make sure that I can be as authentic as possible while still adding the lingo and the lamba from back home and still making something that I felt was genuine to me. So it had its challenges in that aspect, but aside from that, the feeling was amazing, and I think it shows in the music.
Yes, absolutely. You kind of killed two birds with one stone because the next question was basically like how much of your roots did you contribute so much to the project? But I feel like you kind of
Right.
answered that perfectly as well. So yeah, I took a listen to Love, and like it was just such a soothing and relaxing album. It had like your hits, but it was also like those tracks were just like the production. It just spoke sonically,
Right.
it gave you that type of vibe, and again, it showed the heritage and the roots that you gave to it. And I just want
Yeah.
to say as well, like you're an artist that's like so determined, and like this is the sound I want, and I'm not trying to, this is not me doing it because for show or reputation or like I'm trying to like
Yeah.
it's what that's who I am. I'm not trying to like
Yeah.
sound like the other person and be like, oh, you I can compare you to this. Like, no, I'm the one and only Tony. Like, don't put some respect on my name.
Period. Come on. You already know the vibes. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. I just want to make sure that people know that you can't box me in, because as much as I do like Afrofusion, I still just love R&B and like hip hop as well, and it is something that I want to dive deeper into moving forward. So, you know, Afrofusion is really like I'm cultivating it in my own way, and I love that people are able to kind of differentiate me from anything else that's coming out right now, because literally everything I'm gonna do and release will always be unpredictable. So everyone got to be on the lookout.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, I just want to know, like, what's next for you in terms of like your musical journey, or maybe lines of discography.
Yeah.
If you have anything like any bag of tricks in there as well, you're hold on, guys, I got something.
um, well, for the most part, I'm primarily just working on a bunch of different like acting content as well, from skits to different short films I'm part of. Also, kind of producing my own project as well on the acting side. So you guys should definitely look out for that, because I want to showcase more of that skill of mine as well. And on the musical side, well, aside from also having shows, there's always a few shows. This summer should be pretty poppin'. I'm definitely going back to Africa as well in the fall. So um, just look out for all of that. Aside from that, musically, as I mentioned, honing in on the Afrofusion will always be there. I'll always continue to make that sound, but I want everyone to always remember not to box me into anything, because I think my versatility is truly my biggest strength. So I'm gonna be taking you on a journey. It might get real sad and real R&B and real soulful. It might get real grungy and hip hoppy, a little bit of drill in there, and give people a vibe. And of course, the Afrofusion will always be. So there you go.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, another question, like, when was the moment you just found yourself becoming a successful black female artist? Because I know sometimes
Mm,
when you're starting to get into music more, you're telling yourself, like, I don't know, is this gonna be like a trend? Am I just gonna do this for a short period, or is this something like,
right.
you know what, like, this is it, like, this is what I want to do, this is what I love, this is what I'm passionate about. So I just want to know, when was that moment for you?
I've always known I wanted to do it my whole life. I always knew that it was for me. Like, genuinely speaking, there's nothing I was more sure of than entertainment for myself. I just knew from young, from high school going into college, like, what do I want to do? I went to school for acting. I knew that within me, what I was certain I can do and make sure I can make something out of it was entertainment. And then when it came to music, thank you for calling me a successful black artist. I think I'm very much still on my way. I don't think I've
Of course.
I've reached the level of success I want to, but in a sense I am at the same time. So I guess I do need to acknowledge that. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, however, music is genuinely just my vessel. It's what fuels my soul. It's what fuels my creativity and what keeps me kind of at bay in my sanity. you know. However, I think it was the moment of 2019 when we were getting a lot of show opportunities, and I was still working like a customer service representative job, and we got the opportunity to perform for like all of Mr. Easy's Europe tour. Like, I was like the constant opener. They wanted me to come on. So I was like, okay, well, it's either my job's gonna fire me or I gotta quit. And obviously having my dad by my side as my manager gave me a lot of security and comfort to know that I can do this. And once I quit, I mean, I haven't looked back since. So, and we've only been moving forward. We've only been going up in trajectory. So it's beautiful to know that I'm on a reassured path constantly. And as long as I continue to do what I'm doing, I will continue to feel reassured. And I think that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, absolutely. And like having your dad as your manager too, like that's
Yeah.
love. That's true love right there. Because like when you're having your parents as like your biggest supporters, I think that's the best type of love you can ask for. Because I mean, sure, you can go
Yeah.
out there and probably get some top tier manager who knows the game, who knows exactly about the in and out. But you still won't have that connection as to like my father. He's someone who's seen
Exactly.
me grown, who's seen me become like this black strong woman who like is making her own path and making it
Yeah.
her own path. It's like I want to support her. I want to be there so that way she keeps seeing the blessings come through and through.
And that's exactly how he feels. And I'm glad you were able to convey that. For me, I'm extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful because I genuinely believe that, it's God's plan for me to be on this path, given the fact that my dad had like 30 years experience in this field before he even took me on as an artist. So, for me, it just feels amazing that he can be by my side through this for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And like for you being a black female artist, I can only imagine like because you are an independent artist. You're not someone who's like
Yeah.
signed to a label. So
No. Yeah.
you contrast that to someone who's like in the industry and like obviously the music industry, that's a whole other conversation because it's like it gets deep in the surface
It's
of like
deep.
I mean
Yeah.
you're kind of like you're selling like I guess your creative freedom to do what you want to do to like hey I'm trying to get to the
Yeah.
top. And listen, I don't want to like criticize anyone. I mean listen, if you want to get to the top, that is fine, but just know like when you're getting to the top, I mean like maybe some people are like, listen, we need you to make an album at this time. We need you to
Right.
write a single in the span of this much month. And it's just like, hold up, I just came back from a tour and I just did this. I did a photo
Yeah.
shoot and it's just like, when am I gonna
It's
have some time for
demanding.
me?
I mean, I feel like independent or not, that's how it is, really and truly. I actually don't think label or not, if you're really dedicated to this field, it is a 365-day job. It really is. Like if you really think about it, your holidays, we're the entertainers to entertain your holiday. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're the ones performing on Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day to make sure that you have a beautiful day. We're entertainers, so it really is independent or not, depending on where you want to go, that is really what it takes. But if you're truly passionate about it and you understand the pros and cons of taking it further than just making music, and you come to terms with that and you can find balance, then I mean, for myself, I'm okay with it. I know where I want to go. So
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think it just depends on the artist. If you just know,
yeah,
like, listen, I know exactly how I want to portray my music and how I want to approach it, then, like, you will
exactly.
be fine. And again, I think with those artists who are just stepping into the game, it's like they just need the proper resources and, like, the proper
Yeah.
outlet. Because sometimes they may find, like, a huge record company, and sometimes it's like they don't know better. It's like, hey, make sure
Hmm.
you read over the contract or make sure that you are understanding how the people operate in these systems,
Yeah.
how they're able
Yeah.
to influence you at the same time, but they might get you into some steep trouble.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah,
It's very true.
yeah, absolutely. So there's just so much for it. So I guess my next question for someone like yourself, how would you like, as an advocate, anyone who is trying to get into music, anyone who's trying to express their art, how would
Yeah.
you like, just get the message across like, hey, if there's something that you want to do, if you want to share your voice, whether you're a singer, you're a rapper, like, there shouldn't be nothing holding you back. There should be nothing stopping you. Like, what would be
Yeah.
your approach to it, to any artist?
Um, when you've made the music, you've made the content, and now it's just about releasing it. How do I get an audience? How do I push myself? Learn the business. Music is literally like 20% music and 80% business. I think that goes over a lot of artists' head because unless you're signed, you don't realize how much business there is behind it. Or unless you're guided by the right people, you don't realize how much business there is behind it. So I feel like that is one thing that we kind of lack as artists. And this goes for me too, because if it wasn't for my father, I'd be in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to learn the business. Understand that, generally speaking, it's a money grab It's about trending. It's about what's moving in the market. It's about how can you cater to what's going on while still being authentic to you. Learn how you can put yourself in the business without, taking any part of you out. And it's very possible, but it takes research. Do your research. Understand the things that happen for artists independently, because I guess we're speaking from an independent standpoint, right?
Right.
So, independently, what you can do, where you can submit your music, submit it everywhere, show your face everywhere, be everywhere, online, digitally, any spaces you can get into, do it. Any shows that are going on, go to them, meet the organizers, let the promoters know who you are, let them see your face so they can think about you next time they're doing a show, whatever the case may be. You, generally speaking, you want to market yourself constantly, and understand what business marketing is and how you can put that into what works for you. Literally go on YouTube and look at independent rollouts, like independent music rollout
Right.
campaign. There are constant, like thousands of videos. In Canada, we're extremely grateful, blessed to be able to have the privilege of grants.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these different grants that you have available to you. There's small ones just for $2,000. That might just help you with your studio fees or your mixing, mastering fees, whatever the case may be. And you start working about it that way. Or you use that 2,000 because you've already done all the beats and the content. And now you just need a release. So you use that 2,000 for marketing. There are so many different individual platforms that offer PR services and offer publishing services, that offer distribution services. You really don't need anybody but knowledge, or you don't need anything but knowledge, really and truly, like, especially when you're first starting out. And I've noticed this because I've seen this happen with a lot of people around me. And it was the one thing I was really stern on before my dad came is, if you don't have anything to manage, don't look for a manager. Manage yourself. Don't be so quick to want somebody to take on everything you've got going on. For what? You haven't built a name for yourself. You're still just starting. Trust and believe you'd actually prefer to be on your own than to have somebody, especially if they're not someone you know's full intention. Like, you don't know their full intentions for you.
Right.
You don't know who they are. They just told you they have experience and want to take you on and take on everything you've got, but you haven't even released a song yet. What is there to manage? You build up all that leverage that there is something for that person to manage, and you are already aware of everything they'd have to do because you've done it yourself. So this way you're fully aware of what's going on without people telling you what you want to hear, because you don't know any better. You didn't do your research. So knowledge is truly key. It's truly, truly key. And there's so many more things accessible to us in this day and age than ever before that allows you to do this independently, i.e. TikTok. There's so many different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like you just gave like the perfect lecture, and we could just like end it right there. Like, nah, for real. Like, there was like you were hitting point after point after point after point. No, like, for real. Like, I'm even gonna flip the script a bit, because for me as a podcaster, I remember when I started, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know shit. So when I
Right.
started, I could have told myself, all right, let's just go guns a blazing. Like, let's just start a bunch of episodes.
Right.
Like, go, go, go. But I'm like, you know what? No one knows me. No one knows who I
Mm.
am, what I do. I was even a social media type of guy before I started my podcast. Like,
Mm-hmm.
anyone who's listening can vouch for me. You probably saw me on Instagram once or twice a year. Not a month, a year. Like, I was
Yeah.
ghost. So
Yeah.
I took the time, like, you know what? Let me know more about podcasting, to understand it better, to gain my audience, to first, figure out who's listening to me, who wants to engage with my content,
Right.
just to, grab that type of feel. Because you know what? I could have told myself earlier on, you know what? I want to sell merch. I want to do this and that. But I'm like, hold up. If I don't even know who my audience is, why am I going to
Right.
buy all this inventory, stock it somewhere, and like, hey, buy my shirt? And then everyone's just like,
I'd be like,
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
yeah, literally. Yep.
Right. So I feel like what you said, like, what you covered up, all of that is so true. It's the knowledge that you have to, obtain. So that way you're
Yeah.
able to make all these different steps. And also, there's times where like you may not get to a certain point where like, ah, dang it, I didn't get this, but you learn from
Yeah.
stuff like that. And it's also not only knowledge, but the commitment. Are you gonna
Yes.
be there when you fall down? Because a lot of people's like, you know what? this is too hard. It's too much research. I'm just gonna quit. And it's just like,
Yeah,
well, you know, all the hard work pays off. You got to do the time. You know,
it's
sometimes
true. It's
nothing
true.
comes easy. I wish someone could
Nothing
walk
at
up to my
all.
doorstep like, hey Sean, we have a studio for you. You want to come in, like, rent it out for your podcast? I wish. I pray every single day to Jesus Christ Himself, but like, I know it doesn't come like that. And I know, Tommy, you're
Yeah.
probably wishing like, yo, I want like to be the biggest artist in the world. I want like record deals coming in and out. But it's like it doesn't work
Yeah.
like that. You know,
Nope.
you gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep pushing and thriving. But I think
Literally.
with that push and with that thrive, you feel so much satisfied when you get to that
Yeah.
point. Because I feel
Yeah,
like
you do.
I wouldn't be happy if someone just handed everything to me, just like, oh, okay, but I'm like, I didn't really work for it.
You didn't work for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So you don't feel that.
Yeah.
So I totally get everything what you're saying. Like I said, it felt like when you were hitting those points, like a lecture. You were like a professor talking to your students, just letting everyone know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, generally speaking, like I really thank my father for it because I did have my moments where I was like, no, I want to give up. This is too hard. Or what's the point of me doing this? It doesn't mean anything. All the excuses in the book I could give, I was giving it. And, he was very much like, okay. And in a sense that, first of all, he wasn't working for me. He was very much working with me. And if
Mm-hmm.
anything, he was opening doors, but I'm the one that had to keep it open. He's like, yeah, okay, I let you know this is there. You better do the work to make it happen now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it for you. And that really changed things for me too. And I noticed the results when I wasn't working hard or when I really couldn't care less or I wasn't trying compared to when I did. And it's actually really interesting how quickly you'll see results faster than you expected if you just took that extra time that day
Right,
to
right.
do something, you know? And I'm very grateful to have had that push and guidance because I know it isn't easy. I'm sure there's more people like me who, in a sense, they just need that extra push and guidance. And if it's just up to them, they are quicker to give up on themselves. And like, I genuinely get that feeling a lot of the times too. So like, it's understandable. And if it's the sake of you even having to take a moment, do it bit by bit. Okay, you're going to dedicate 2 hours a day to do it. The rest of the day is your creative. Whatever you want to do, just make sure you're getting it done. Because like, even for the Juno, I think a lot of artists don't realize you can submit your music. Everyone can submit their music, but as small as that knowledge is, people think, oh no, they pick your songs. No, they don't. Submit your music, And I
Yeah.
had this goal in my mind that I wanted to make sure, no matter what, my music's being like I literally told myself, I'm like, I want to get an award in every single award possible. Like I want an award. So I just told myself, whatever the hell that means, I want to make sure I'm submitting to every single award show, no matter what. Like just the research like that. Set out what the goals are that you have, and just plan out how you're gonna execute it. And don't
Hmm.
just plan, actually execute.
That is so true. A lot of people they have like their stuff written down, but it's like cast it aside. And again, you're just kind of hoping for like some
Yeah.
like magical sense to kind of appear. Like, oh, here it's like you have everything, but it doesn't work like that. And it's interesting
Yeah.
you
Right.
mentioned the whole Juno thing because again, a lot of people don't know about that. You can submit your music. Everyone just assumes that
Yes.
oh they selected. Well, I don't know what committee is taking the time to look at every single Canadian artist.
Can you
Like, yeah,
imagine? No way.
I can imagine the stress, but no, it brought something up to me as well because I've had conversations before on just like I guess the aura of award shows, and obviously when you
Mm,
think of that, you look at the Grammys, and obviously that has its own like corrupt system because a lot of artists are just like, yeah, I'm not really messing with these people based on the selections they pick and everything,
right.
so. I'm just wondering, did you ever have that sense, whether it was even with the Junos or just with award shows that highlighted music in general, like with your time being as an artist?
You know, I feel like I don't necessarily have enough experience or credibility behind award shows to say too much on that. However, I think we've all kind of seen, even at the forefront, certain things look like favoritism. Certain things do look like, you have some sort of pull with the jury. which is giving you more priority than someone else's actual talent, which could be better than yours. I think we've kind of all seen it in the limelight, from the Grammys, BET Awards, to Junos, to so many different ones. And it gets a little tricky to speak on it, or, kind of have too much of an opinion, because I mean, I was part of the jury myself last year, not for my category, of course, but for other categories, and I judged it honestly based on what I thought the sound was like. I based it genuinely just on the sound. But some people will look at your numbers. Some people will go to your social media. It really just depends as well on your package as an artist, and that's what they're gonna buy into, compared to the music you submitted. So it is a bit trickier to kind of say really and truly like what is really going on with the award shows. From my opinion, I think that every award show needs a lot of improvement. But when things have been around for so long and things are so set in stone in their way, and it starts to favor certain people, there's only so much you can do, right? You can just kind of watch and pray and hope. So
no,
yeah,
I feel you. Just like, and things first, I didn't even know you were on the jury last year. So I mean,
yeah,
that's new information.
Yeah, I was. You can also become a member.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. Some people are just kind of like, they may not have the experience to speak on that. And I've also heard from people as well, like they just don't want to talk about things like that because it's just like I'm not really to bother with all the propaganda or all the things that happen behind the scenes. Because you brought up a good point about favoritism. There is that sense where, okay, they're clearly putting this artist on a pedestal based on the music
Right.
and everything like that. I think there's times I'm having my mini rants, and I think every fan has the mini rants where it's like, why is this person nominated so much? How come you keep saying this person like yada yada yada?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so I definitely feel that just with award shows in general, I don't try to bother too much. But this was something that I did have a conversation before because I don't know. I was like, I think I got mad one time about the Grammys because I heard a bunch of artists. Like, I think The Weeknd, it was about a couple years ago where he mentioned that I'm not going to submit no more music from the Grammys to the
Right.
committee because he dropped his album, got no recognition, no buzz, and like he felt very upset. But it wasn't just off of that; he kind of expressed it for prior to that, prior to the release of his album. So he just
I remember that. Yeah.
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 So from there, you kind of saw a trend, of artists that just kind of like, what, maybe I should just distance myself from that. I didn't want to even make a generalization. Like, is that how everyone thinks? Because I'm pretty sure you want to like be there when you win a special award at a special like award show. Because obviously,
Of
such an
course.
honor.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe again, this is something in my repertoire to speak on much, but I had to bring it up because I know we were kind of
Of
digging
course.
into the conversation. Um, I would like to let everyone know actually the first time I saw you. So the funny thing about this is that it wasn't even at a major. Okay, I would say it's a major concert for you, but I was there for Rise's 10th year anniversary, and I saw you, and I was just like, hold up. Now this woman can sing. Like, nah, she can sing. And like I remember being there. I was like on the left side in the second row, and I was just like just taking it in. I'm like, damn, like she's just like such a good vibe. She has great energy. She knows how to connect with the crowd, and like the songs you were playing as well. I was just like, hold on, like listen, I'm not a dancer. Like mostly, if you're seeing me like out. Like my signature move is like the head nod. I'm just nodding my head, but I was just kind of like, hold on, like I had to like little move a little bit because like I was getting into it. I was like, hold on, she is super dope, super dope. So I went home the next night and I was like, okay, I have to listen to her album. I'm listening to it on my JBL speaker, and I'm like reminiscing, just holy smokes, man, like please tell me she's like a top tier artist because like if she's like an underrated artist, I will make sure to promote her to make her feel like a top tier artist because like that's how
I
it's feeling.
appreciate that. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, Yeah, I feel like in short of 3 years, we've been doing really well in music. I'll say that's for sure. And I'm grateful for the team that I have. I'm grateful for the ear that I have. Um, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. So, I had to reach out to you, and obviously you're a very busy individual. You're doing your own stuff, and like, I won't even lie. When I sent the email, I thought to myself, I'm 99% sure she's probably not gonna get back because I'm like,
Oh,
no, because like it's not me kind of losing hope, but sometimes I like to be optimistic, but I'm also being like, I mean, come on, like I'm not as popping as I think I want to be, so it's just kind of like I'm like, are they gonna treat it as like, okay, this is cool, but I mean, I don't think it's like anything game changing, so it's like, okay, so I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then I got a response, and I was just thinking, holy smokes, it's actually happening, and just to let everyone know, I got so confused, and like when you get excited, you blank out, like completely
yeah,
blank out of everything. So my brain, because I was going back with your father in terms of like email threads, and I know he mentioned something about next week we're actually open for the media. So I'm thinking, oh, so that means she's not available next week. But then halfway through, I'm like, oh wait, she is. So then I sent the
yeah,
link, and then I noticed I took a gamble, and I'm like, you know what? She probably is busy. Until you message me like I'm waiting on the Riverside Lake, and I'm just like, it's happening
yeah,
like right now.
yeah. I thought that was established.
I
I was
mean,
like, okay, 1 p.m. Cool, I'll be there.
yeah, because the thing is like I think this might have been the first situation where it's like I wasn't sure because I know the last thing he said was one at Wednesday works. But usually sometimes I'll give like
Right,
follow ups and then like I'll get a response.
right.
So when I didn't, I thought, okay, it's probably not happening this week. Maybe I have to reschedule. I was literally about to go make some like chicken noodle soup and everything. And then
I'm
like I
dead.
saw the text message. I dropped the pot and everything. I ran upstairs. I ran.
Sorry, yeah, no, that's my manager's the one that handles emails, so that's usually how he goes about it. If it's once we say it works, that's it. It's confirmed.
Okay, okay. You see, guys, like sometimes in terms of like engagement, like for some people, it's like, listen, once it's worked, it works. For me, I'm like, I will text you like the day before, like 5 minutes before, like I'm
Right.
that type of person because I want to make sure like we're both on the same page and everything that both parties are communicating that we're able to just work together at the end.
Of
So
course.
again,
Of course.
I have to stress, I'm really glad that you're here just in the
Thank you for
present.
having me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Just one more thing I want to ask before we gotta go. For you as a musician, obviously, there's got to be like your tracks, albums that you're probably in love right now. No pun intended.
Yeah.
um, is there any artists that you listen to? Any albums that you kind of dive yourself into this year?
Mm. Rema's latest album, Raves and Roses. I do I do love a lot of songs on it. I think Addicted, Are You There, and Love are like my favorite on that album. Santi is also one of my favorites. His latest project, Sabaru Boys, Final Heaven. There's a couple songs on there. The names are so different. It's like, can't even remember. Um, I think there was Dirty Evil Eyes with Stormzy on it. There's one that he has with Amare, and then there's Sakuru-chan, if I said that right. Those are crazy. Let me go to my actual playlist because I feel like I'm
She's
always listening
pulling
to
out
new
the phone.
music.
She's like, hold
You
up, it's
know,
too much.
there's actually one song. It's like a song and bass type of song by Bert Cope. I was put onto him like a few days ago. Super underground UK artist, but the music, like his song Time, is something I play almost every day. I love that song. Um, Last by Burna Boy. Kendrick Lamar's album was really deep for me. I loved a lot of songs on that album,
Yeah.
like a lot of them. I think Savior, Silent Hill, um, Die Hard are some of my favorites from it. Um, yeah, aside from that, I've just been like just listening to music. I'm always listening to music. I love music and I love all types of music. I'm super like everywhere when it comes
Yeah.
to music. Like, I just love it. I just love all types of music.
I
So those are
feel you.
definitely some of my favorites right now.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like for me, it's hard to choose. But like you said, I
Yeah.
listen to so much. I listen to R&B. Like I'm definitely an R&B type of
Yeah.
guy. I listen to a little bit of like rap and hip hop. I listen to some reggae, some soca sometimes, pop music. So might even listen to some gospel music if I'm feeling like it as well.
I'm
So
telling you, some of those mornings, you just start your day with the gospel. Feels
yeah.
good.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. It's just one of those vibes. I think for me,
Trust me.
there's just so much because like I try to like
Yeah.
mix my listening to in terms of like okay, I listen to some mainstream, and then I might listen to some people that I've never heard of, like underground, and then
Yeah.
obviously I'll listen to people in my community as well, just like because I gotta big up Jaden Fitch, I gotta big up the community, like yo,
Come
if
on.
you're an artist, like listen, I'll check out your music and everything, and like I'll be promoting it, I'll be jamming to it, so that's definitely like my approach. But I feel like if I had to pick an album of the year candidate for me, it's
Ooh.
it's hard because like there's so much. It might one of them might be Benny the Butcher's album that just dropped. It's
Mm.
so hot. Obviously everyone loves Johnny P's Caddy, the one with J. Cole.
Mm.
I might also say Blast because my Blast
Oh,
like
yeah. I didn't listen to his album.
that no, that's my guy. Listen, like me and my
Oh,
sister,
yeah?
we just jammed to him. Oh my
Mad.
gosh, Blast is one
Okay.
of my top dudes. And I'm saying this not because you're here, but your album might be album of the year for me as well. Not because you're just here.
Wow.
It is that hot. Listen, I have Burn Up on replay every day.
I hear this all the time. That's so crazy.
Like
Oh my God.
it's not even a joke. Like that album spoke to me. Like when you're listening to a track
Wow.
and like it's so hot, you pause it, you just like run away for no reason. You're just kind of like running
Yeah,
like.
literally.
Hot to the chance, make the story no longer.
So you're looking at me, baby, tell me what you want. You liking what you say, then show me what you got. If you're feeling on me, baby, I don't understand. You wanna talk about it, better fill my glass. When the dulce is alright, bring the shy out, make it plenty. On my waistline, roll it gently. Can't kill my vibe. When the dulce is alright, bring the shy out, make it plenty. On your waistline, make it dance. Can't kill my vibe.
Dance floor burn up,
Give me loose.
everything burn up. Dance floor burn up, burn up, burn up, burn up, burn up. Dance floor burn up,
Give me loose.
everything burn up. Dance floor burn up, burn up, burn up.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yes.
Like, thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Absolutely. But I know you got a busy day, so I'm ready to wrap up. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you so much again for being on the Safe Room.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
It
So
was a great time.
So how about you let everyone know where they can find you on social media?
Yeah. You can find me on all streaming platforms, TOME. So just search up my name, TOME. You'll find your girl. And on social media, it's Tommy official _. So TOME official _ on everything. And yeah, holla at your sis because we're always up to something.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at the Safe Room Official. Check me on my website, thesaferoomspodcast.com. Listen, I'm doing some big things, guys. So stay tuned. I got some things cooking up in the back burner. And also, again, if you want to go check out the official soundtrack for the podcast by yours truly, by your boy. It's available on all streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify. It's called First Lady. I dropped this about last year. I keep calling it like my crowning achievement because like that's probably the one and only song I'll ever do, like ever.
Oh, wow. No way. Okay, I definitely got to check that out.
Yeah. So thank you guys